You've probably played through hundreds, if not thousands of Mario levels at this point. There are many fan favorites. Perhaps you like Whomp's Fortress. Speedrunners would know why.
That's not fair! That's so dumb! It's so dumb, dude! Oh my god!
Or maybe you enjoy playing in Cascade Kingdom in Odyssey because of its beauty. But have you ever stopped to question how these levels work? More specifically, how can they just straight up hover in the air? Although last time I checked, gravity did exist, so what's going on? Today I'll be trying, but not promising, to answer this very confusing and interesting question that may have puzzled some of you for years. So sit back and relax and watch me run my mouth for 10 minutes or however long this video is. So why don't we start small? How do the small things float? You know, the question blocks, the brick blocks, the item blocks, the stupid troll Mario Maker hidden blocks.
Oh my god!
And lots of other things. There are a few theories on how this could work. Of course, this could just be Nintendo magic, but that's lame. We definitely want a better explanation. One of the most popular opinions is that Mario isn't real. It's often been thought that Mario games are just set in a theater. How you enter stage left and exit stage right, how there are just blocks hanging in the air, perhaps from something similar to invisible thread used in Magic and even theaters. However, this stuff is mostly evident in Mario Bros. 3, where the game literally straight up tells you from the title screen that it is indeed a play. The rest of the 2D Mario games, we could just infer that they are also plays just like Mario 3. Notice how I said 2D, because it would be very difficult to replicate such a complicated play in 3D, right? You thought I was gonna be like, well, actually no, but I'm not, because you legit can. I mean, think about it. Is it realistic for Nintendo to put millions of strings to hold up an entire level? Blocks are fine, but an entire world? No frickin' way. The idea of floating levels makes sense in the Mario Galaxy series, because it's made up of tiny planets and whatnot which hover in the void of space, so there's no confusion there. Could it be that Mario 64's and Mario Odyssey's worlds also have tiny planets? Well, no, because you can't walk on the side of a building or anything. So if it isn't a stage play or a small planet, then what is it? What is the force which makes these levels just hover eternally? Obviously, our world's gravity is non-existent in the Mario universe. However, there still may be a theoretical law of physics prominent in the Mario universe and not ours. One of these laws could be negative mass. Negative mass is an exotic concept in physics which, as far as we know, does not exist. Normal matter has positive mass, and under gravity attracts other matter. However, if in the Mario universe negative mass did exist, it would do the exact opposite gravitational behavior. For example, if you place negative mass near normal matter, instead of it attracting, it would repel. This could create some sort of anomaly similar to anti-gravity, which would make these worlds float in the sky. This is kind of confusing, however, because although many Mario stages float in the air, as well as lots of blocks, there are still many things affected by gravity like mountains, bridges, and of course enemies. So I guess the only explanation for this theory would be that negative mass only affects some aspects of a Mario world and not others? Why? No clue. Another form of levitation could be from electromagnetic fields, more specifically, magnetic levitation. You may have heard of the maglev, a train used in East Asia which uses electromagnets to move instead of wheels, removing resistance and therefore increasing speed. The Shanghai maglev is the fastest train in the world right now for this reason. However, the speed part isn't what is important. It's the first part I said, the electromagnets. The gist of how this works is there are magnets placed on the train and on the track which either repel or attract each other. This magnetic force lifts the train off the track so it quote-unquote floats a few inches above the track, reducing friction. Now these Mario levels are floating way higher than 3 inches, maybe 3 million inches. Okay, maybe not that much, but you get my point. The only way this could possibly work is if you place poles of magnets on the bottom of the stage and some at the actual ground level of the world. If strong enough, there could be a minuscule chance it would float, but you still have to factor in challenges such as weight, stability, and so much more. I have one last idea to mention. Einstein's theory of general relativity describes gravity not as a force, but as the curvature of spacetime. Maybe this manipulation of spacetime could result in some anti-gravity effects. Often seen in science fiction, warp drives are used to bend spacetime itself in order for objects to move faster than light. This theoretical effect could also manipulate gravitational fields in some way. This idea seems the least probable out of the others I mentioned, so we'll just leave it at that. There may also be some sort of dark matter or dark energy situation going on, but I'm not trying to fry my brain with all this science stuff anymore, so just think of theories of those on your own and let me know in the comments. So, out of the 3 theories of the mysterious floating stages, which one is the most probable? The general relativity one seems the most far-fetched to me. Between the negative mass and electromagnetic fields, I'd probably go with negative mass. It seems like the most realistic answer to this question because I don't see any magnets underneath the floating levels or at the very bottom of the map either. Negative mass seems to be a possible law in certain Mario games like Odyssey, 64, and Sunshine, since these 3D games are known for having platforming which may lead to your ultimate death. So, there you have it. I believe I've answered the questions to how these levels, stages, worlds, whatever you want to call them, flow in Mario games. Now, of course, all these are very theoretical concepts, and like I mentioned before, stability and weight along with other factors could influence how this idea could work. So most likely it would be Nintendo Magic, but for the sake of science, we'll conclude that negative mass is probably the answer to this phenomena. This of course isn't limited to Mario games. This odd law could be applied in so many other games like Super Monkey Ball, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, or even Fortnite, which all feature this floating mechanic in some way. So next time you see a floating island in a game, you should be like, hey, look, this game universe has negative mass, and then remember me. And then get back to your game. So with all that being said, that brings us to the conclusion of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to leave your thoughts on this topic down in the comments, because I'd love to hear them. Subscribe if you want, and I'll catch you guys later.